Caleb, I think it was 1 of 4 at Penn State. Not a lot of looks in 32 minutes, and today, 14 points, 4 or 5 from beyond the arc. I mean, what's the difference? How did he get the separation and the looks to have such a difference in output?
Well, it's great that he has a quick mind. You know, he just don't think about, you know, last game and be dialed into your next opponent. And, you know, basically tonight with the attack that we have with the drives by DJ by making plays, as well as the double team that Hunter and Musa receiving in the post, you know, it'll allow, you know, some opportunities for our shooters to be able to really get open. And our bigs did a really good job, along with DJ and Eli, getting in the paint and finding, you know, guys like Caleb out on the perimeter. It was nice to see the ball go in the basket, not only just for Caleb, but for all our guys. Really a well-balanced attack in the paint, as well as on the outside shooting from the three-point line.
Juwan, what can you say about Musa's game tonight? Seemed like he was really active all over the court.
Yes, he was extremely aggressive tonight, and you know, I remember talking about it in film. There was opportunities where he's open, and I think we're missing him. And I challenge our guys to, you know, be patient and look inside for him, especially when you have a defender on his back. And Musa, when he got the ball, you know, he truly did something with it, whether it was, you know, driving to the basket, backing down the post, but it was no thinking. You know, he just came out aggressive, and I really liked that. But it was within the team setting. It wasn't like he was going out of the offense to try to score.
Coach, over here with Steve.
Musa gave you some credit, Juwan, for working with him as much as you do, like you've worked with all the bigs. What have you maybe focused on recently with him?
You know, here's a young man that has that, you know, hard work, bring your lunch pail. He has an amazing work ethic from day one. You know, when he came in the door, Musa would come in at 6 in the morning. Sometimes when I'm not here, I'm working with some of our managers, and I really take my hat off to the managers for being available that early. There are times when Musa would get 2 or 3 workouts in a day, and I share with him about, you know, we can work hard, but it's important that we work smart. But I love doing the individual work with him because he's like a sponge. You know, he eats it all up. But I'm not going to tell you everything that we do. I'll just tell you this, that the young man has that, you know, 1% better type of attitude, and that's what you want. You know, and I'm sure every coach loves it when guys, you don't have to search them out, they search you out for the work.
In your 3 years here, did the fans ever storm the court, and what was your reaction to what happened tonight?
Yeah, thinking back to when I was a student athlete here, no, we never had the fans storm the court. And tonight, you know, I really didn't know how to react because it was my first time. But it was nice to see that our fans really appreciate, you know, the guys, players, and as far as what they brought to the table, the effort and energy. But the fans tonight really brought it. You know, our Mage Rage, they always consistently there supporting us. And then our student body, the way how they were present on a late game, on a weekday. It was just nice to see the energy in the building. And I know our guys really appreciate seeing and experiencing that. But it's nice. Nothing like being winning at home. There's nothing like it. It tastes really good.
Hey, Juwan, it feels like Hunter Dickinson at this point is just putting up these great performances night after night. Is this kind of the player you expected when he came back for his sophomore year?
Well, yes, but I also expected, you know, a guy who was worked extremely hard this summer to add more to his game. And, you know, a lot has been talked about, you know, can we see Hunter, you know, shooting the ball from the outside? Can he shoot from the outside? And like I shared with you guys early in the year, you know, think about it. You know, the guys that he played with last year, 4 of them in the NBA. And they all were great shooters from the outside. Austin and Hunter sacrificed a lot, you know, particularly Hunter, because Austin can shoot the ball from the outside too. But they played inside, and they took advantage of, you know, their one-on-one, because there are times when people didn't want to help. I mean by people, teams. So this year, you know, Hunter, we worked a lot on outside shooting, and I knew he could shoot the ball. He shot it in high school. But to also add more range to it because they moved the three-point line back, different from high school to the college level. And he's put in the work, and every time he shoots it, I feel like it's going in.
Right in the middle with Michael.
Juwan, can you put your finger on why tonight was the night that a full 40 minutes came together for these guys?
I don't know. Can't. Sometimes you have games like that. It's a long season, and I say, hopefully we have more, and I trust we will.
Hey Juwan, so on Saturday after Purdue, you talked about playing a team twice in 5 days, like being able, it's like a chess match, and you
Yeah.
gotta make the adjustments. So what sort of adjustments did you make tonight that you think, oh, you guys get a better
Really?
result?
Really? I'm gonna tell you? I'm not gonna tell you, man. But I'll tell you this, that the adjustments where we made, they were really good adjustments that helped to give us an edge and give us an opportunity to win the game. And it was good that some of the adjustments we made, it worked.
Andy?
Because we might have to see them again, Big Ten tournament, you just never know.
Juwan, some of the guys have talked about, learning to win. This team is now learning to win at Penn State, grinding on victory, and now tonight against a really good team. I guess, what does that mean to you when you see, are there particular plays you look for that lets you know a team is, what does that mean exactly to a coach?
Oh, the last part, I didn't
What does that mean to you as a coach, like learning to win?
Well, it means a lot, and it does. You in NBA level, you have to learn how to win, and what it takes is learning new habits and finding out that the little things matter in basketball. What are the little things? Communicating on defense, so you will not allow an open shooter to get open. Not assuming that your teammate knows where you're moving to the spot or the open man is in the spot. Oh, I thought he knew. No. You have to communicate that. Communicate defensive coverage, blocking out on, when a team shoots the basketball, sacrifice your body to go pursue the ball. That's the little things. Loose balls, winning, we call it 50-50 balls, when there's a loose ball on the floor, about how you have to hit the floor first because your opponent's gonna hit the floor, and if you try to dig it out by standing up, you might get a knee or ankle taken out from beneath you. That's what learning how to win is all about. And then at the same time, they all have a special talent offensively. But how can we blend it together as a team? And so what sacrifice means? Sacrificing. Sometimes you have to pass up an open shot for a better shot for a guy that's either in the corner or a guy that's in the paint wide open. So that's what learning how to win is all about, and we will continue to keep growing in that area.
Thank you.
Georgia?
Juwan, you said you don't really know why or how something like this comes about, but the size of the opponent, this time of the year as games are dwindling, it looked like the defense especially was cranked up. Is that where it came from more than anywhere?
Definite defense, man. We look at the shots going in the basket. You look at the three-point shooting. You look at the overall field goal percentage, and you see the assist, the turnover ratio. But you're talking about Purdue, who's a team that can score on the inside and also outside with a lot of shooters on the perimeter. And it has to start with the defense in order to get stops. And sometimes defense generates offense on the other end, whether you're scoring in transition or it also, when you're wearing your team defensively, then it sort of wears them down mentally. And I'm not saying that's what happened to Purdue, but it just energized us. And yeah, I'm big on defense. And I talked about it from day one that if we want to be a defensive team to play in this league in the Big Ten, you have to develop that attitude of being the toughest, nastiest.
Alejandro?
Juwan, Eli Brooks has played more than any other player now in program history. Is that something you acknowledged as a team, and how was it to see him?
We will acknowledge it, yes, and we're well aware of it. Thank you. But Eli is he's special, and he's now in a special class. Once was Xavier Simpson and John Teskey. Now Eli has surpassed them, and I just hope this program is able to get more Elis because he's special in so many ways. And I've said this before, if he ever want to come and coach, he's always going to have a job with me. He also, if he ever want to be a head coach, he will have a head coaching position because he's that smart. He's a great teacher. He's a great leader. He comes from a great family. His dad played ball, played for his dad, played against older guys. He's a basketball guy. He's a basketball genius.
We got time for two more. We'll go Zach and then.
I want to know the players didn't get home until very late the other night. What did you like about maybe how they approached the quick turnaround? Obviously, there's another one.
I loved it. I loved how they responded from a short turnaround, a limited amount of rest. And people have to remember this. And I sort of like, in a respectful way, complained to the Big Ten as far as, we postpone, which COVID, can we please reschedule a game where it's not every other day and to be late at night? Because we have to keep this in mind. 3 and 5 nights, they still have school and classes, and some have 8:30 class, 9:30 class, 10, and we got in at 3 in the morning, and still takes you time to really wind down, and some only got to bed 4 in the morning, 4:30, and I went around the team and I asked each player and I asked each staff member, how many hours sleep did you get? I literally asked that in our film session, as we met as a team, yesterday's practice. And on average, we all got 4 hours of sleep, on average. And with that, we had built-in excuse to come in and say, you know what, I'm just tired, I don't have it. But I love how we responded, and we didn't make any excuses for it, nor what I was gonna allow us to. But with that, I credit our student athletes. They're the ones that's playing the game. They're the ones bringing the energy. They're the ones competing, and the way how they didn't allow that physical fatigue, because it can mess with you mentally. And I think mentally, they were 80% stronger mentally than they were, physically. And when you have that mental toughness, you have the power. You can do anything you want. And I learned that from the Marines. I love the Marines. I love the U.S. Armed Forces on how they wired, and how they train, and how they think.
Juwan, Hunter said, and has said a couple times now, that when you guys put everything together, you really play like the top 5 team that you were at the start of the season. Musa said he still wants to think of this as an underdog mentality. I guess as the regular season winds down and you play these last few Big Ten games, how do you want the team to view itself?
One game at a time. Let's dial into an opponent, one game at a time. And let's just keep grinding and forging ahead.
Take one final one from Michael.
Juwan, going into the season, did you think the zone could be as valuable of a weapon as it was, or was that something that once the season started going, you saw it fit this group pretty well?
I have so many different out-of-the-box thinking type stuff for defense that you just try, and collectively as a staff we sit around and we meet and we talk about some of the things that will help give us an edge and give us a chance to compete. Man-to-man, zone, ball screen coverage, press defense. And then this summer, I'm just going to continue to keep trying to grow and go out there and learn more and see who else has something out there on a college level and high school level, NBA level that that will help prepare us for next season. That's how I'm wired.
Okay, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you.